On the first day, which is not the first at all, which is to say a birth, a new life, or another one, which is to say the rind on a fruitful memory yet to ripen. On the first day, there was a seed, popping into the world a rush of blood and breath. The seed soon rested on her mother's breast and heard a heartbeat the size of a meteor, heard all of the world at once, heard the suns before her and the ones to come, heard the depth of the ocean, each bubble in a burbling brook, each grain in a mountain, and the seed cried for all of the labyrinthine beauty that she would never understand, could never understand. No person alive would ever be able to contain all of the mysterious magic in one sliver of this planet, let alone the whole thing. This is perhaps more upsetting than the beauty. This makes some grown men rip trees up by the forest and turn the seas black, to sin against seasons in spite, to hold a grudge against that which you are not meant to understand. However, the seed was not vengeful, and instead decided to put both the beauty and the power out of her mind, as to stop her own tears. That kind of delusion is a thing for children. To close eyes and pretend everything ceases to exist because you can't see it. Because of fear and convenience, the seed keeps her eyes closed and doesn't see how the leaves shake when she does, how her smile is a sea. Instead, she becomes just a girl, not a seed, just a girl. The girl grows, but only in size. In spirit and soul, she seems to starve herself, allowing only carefully calculated glimpses of pleasure, never lives to a climax, to feel the buzzing energy of a thing but never touch it, to love a song but never dance fully, never breast swinging, arms above head, momentarily off beat and balance for the purpose of flight. The girl laughs with a covered mouth. This kind of suffocation is a thing for timid women, tiptoeing only from themselves, running from reflection. The girl tries to make her body smaller, less of a ravine, pushes everything inward, a sorry always prepped on the tip of her lips. The girl finds faults in her mother, finds her too big, too loud, or limiting, wonders why she doesn't suffocate or wonders why she does. The girl stops listening to the rain, stops watching the moon, stays away from the ocean, stays out of the dirt, stays clean, stays calm, stays careful, stays still, until the implode, when everything, all the sins against self and soul fold in on themselves, crumpling, obliviating everything until the point of origin, which when the seed girl, stops running from the whispers of the world and sculpts out time to sit with them, lets the silence crawl over her body, to feel the shape of a rock in her mouth that is her tongue, to feel the world hum and walk the valley in her belly that is a uterus. She takes the time to pick the flowers she finds there, names all of them after herself. I'll call this one black, she says. I'll call this one moonlight. She sings to the garden to go to sleep, sees the way her hair mimics a halo, sees her own angels. She catches her tears in a jar and calls them a stream, hears her true laugh for the first time and calls it thunder. Blossoming can sometimes feel like ripping, like your legs took off running in opposite directions in a race to the middle of the earth, a splitting, a vexing burst, similar to how molting must be uncomfortable for the grasshopper, fires uncomfortable for the pasture, but needed all the same. Some change you can't run from, some names are destined from the confines of a womb. From the moment you were a seed, we knew you would bloom, you had monsoon. After seeking self under rocks and in the trunks of trees, the seedling found a storm in the mirror, tucked between gum and teeth, found a lightning bolt in her sister's laugh, electric elasticity, a hip-rolling tornado. She found her free, hanging from her canine teeth, and pulled it through her open mouth like a scream, like a sky split, like a storm. This is when she calls herself a woman and means it, a definitive before and after, a collision of remembering and prophecy. This is how she waters herself, turns to a river, settles a drought. This is how she forms a feast from fingernail filings and a metaphor. This is where she'll pounce. Oh, how a chorus of laughs between sisters sounds more bass-heavy than an earthquake. How women make a church out of a circle. This is a blossom, the whole season of spring. This is a wave song, a wild, 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 wild wind. This is a woman. Please be careful.